character, and the sales have been going up, and he's becoming relevant again, and he's going to be doing some work and giving me a cover. The deal I made with everybody, if you do a cover, you got to do inside, right? There's no, on 300, there's no just a cover by somebody. You do a cover, you got to do some interior pages, that's it. Otherwise, I'm not going to do it. I saw what they did with Detective 1000, and I go, no, I'm not going to do 70 covers, because that could be 70 interior pages. Instead, I'd rather get the interior pages. And luckily, everybody signed up. So I got, Jason came on board, which is cool. Jerome Pena, who does some really cool, crazy stuff. I'll show you some of his stuff in a sec. Jeffrey Scott Campbell, who hadn't done a lot of interior work, so he was the biggest one. I knew I was going to have to really sell him pretty hard. I'll bring him up here. And then I go, let's just bring the boy band back, and let's see if I can get Greg Capullo to come back, who left at issue number 100. And then ultimately, I needed one more slot, and I go, hey, there's this guy I remember named Todd that used to draw Spawn. Let's see if I can get Todd to come back. I said, yeah. So he came back. Todd's also going to do the majority of issue 301, so he's going to be back for a couple. And it just seems like it'd be a fun book. It'd be a fun book to get there. So Jerome isn't going to be here, but let me just show you his cover. I've got about 5 more minutes. I got to ink on. I just finished it up in my hotel room at night. I don't know if we can go back to this machine here. Can we cut to that? There we go. So here's the cover, and I could be able to get. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're just Jerome's pencils, my inks on them, and it's just sort of a bit of a tease about what's to come here in the next 50 issues of Spawn, because the world's going to open up bigger. I'm going to create my own Spawn verse, if you will, to get it, because the stakes of what's happening in the book are getting so big that it can't be handled by one person anymore, and the dominoes in issue 300 are going to be started. So with that, here's what happened. You guys have all been to the same panel as I have. You got 5 or 8 people, 6 people up here. To me, it's sort of awkward because you get polite people, you get other people that ask way too many questions, and a lot of people are sitting there. I'm going to do it slightly different. I'm going to call each one of these gentlemen up, and I just want to focus on them for their time up on stage. And if you guys got some questions for them specifically, you can get up there. And I want to give them sort of the courtesy of basically being the one, and then we'll move them off, and I'll bring on somebody, and everybody gets to be 100% attention instead of it scattering. People are twiddling their thumbs. So with that, I'd like to bring up Jason, Shawn, Alexander. So Jason's stuff, you guys have seen some of the covers here, right? They're going to be some of the images up here. Jason, besides doing the regular artwork on here, did another book for Image called Empty Zone, right? Some of the other stuff you want to write about, you like?
Hellboy, Batman.
Right, you guys ever see the Hellboy stuff? Right, very good. Here's why I picked Jason. How many of you have been doing it?
20.
20, okay. Here's why I picked Jason. I knew that, as you guys know, I've been talking for a long time about this movie and the darkness and the R-rated and the maturity of it. I knew that that's where I'm headed with all of this. So I wanted to see if I could find an artist that had that look. That if you've seen some of what Jason's done, hopefully you've done it, and for some of you that maybe are reluctant to jump on to Spawn, here's what I can tell you. Jump on it starting with 296. Because 296, 297 essentially is an overview of the first 300 issues. So if you're afraid that you go, I don't know if I can catch up, 296, 297 is essentially a Reader's Digest of issue 1 all the way up to 296. So you're on board. You're going, oh, that's what's happening. Boom. Then you're going to get the prequel, 298, 299, and then you get 300, which is going to end with the cliffhanger, so you got to buy 301, the record breaker, and then you're off to the races, and hopefully we keep you by that point. For Jason, I wanted somebody that could actually bring the mood of what I was hoping to eventually get to in the long run, which is to turn this thing to be less of a superhero book per se, and make it sort of more gritty and determined. So to just go ahead and talk about some of your process of some of your artwork as you've sort of discovered what Spawn is, because they all fall into the trap. They all do the superhero look first, and then I have to slap them and go, no, come on, Jay, that's not why I hired you, right? If I wanted that look, I would have got a different artist, right? Just do your Jason thing. That's what I want. I want your Jason thing. So talk to us about your process here.
The first.
I'm discovering Shawn, right?
Well, Todd was actually the first guy I ever ate as a kid, like his Spider-Man and all that stuff. Like I just wanted to be McFarlane. And then over the years, once I discovered books like The Crow and stuff like that, then I started pursuing more of a non-superhero path. So when he hit me up to start working on Spawn, it felt like a really great, like, full circle come around. And so I started buying all the back issues, and I was like, well, I gotta get my superhero up. And I did a sample page, and like he said, like, no, it was great because he asked me to just focus on my strengths. He wants Spawn to be a horror book, he wants Spawn to be a scary book, and then I just got excited.
So look at here's what bugs me the most when I hire people. I don't want, and I tell every one of them, and even though they nod their head, they say, oh yeah, I get it. They still, sometimes half of them still do it. I don't want Todd Light on the page. If you're just going to do a riff of me, right, I'll just do it myself. Like why do I want me? I'll just do it. I don't want a bad version of me. Just do. I hired people because I want your stuff, right? So for him, I needed him to basically look. I mean, look at to me, I don't know how clear you can see this, but the page on the left, that bottom page, it's still all Spawn. He's cool. He's got the cape. He's got the cowl. He's got the eyes. But that's a monster standing there, right? And even though he's not saying anything, I wrote a word balloon to it, but even though he's not saying anything, I just want him to just be standing there and just scare the shit out of you, even if he says nothing, right? That's what I needed from Jason, right? Go. Because if he was doing a bad superhero, which isn't his thing, it's boring to me. I've already read it, you've read it, who cares about it?
Yeah, you just came at me with Spawn should be a monster, and so I took everything from that point very cinematically. Every time there's a shot, you have your kind of instinctive action poses that you do. I get those out of my system, and then I start, basically, I try to draw every page like I'm drawing the Spawn horror movie. No. I just want it to be as cinematic and scary and real. I use model reference. I shoot models for everybody because I want there to be that grounded sense of reality. I want this world to be even more believable, so it's a little more scary.
And how long have you been in the business, do you think?
About 22 years. 22
years, right? I've been in a little bit longer, so at times I hate myself because when I talk to the people I work with, at times I throw my dad hat on. I used to be like the cool brother and the cool uncle, now I'm just like the old grandpa. So, but I sit there. One of the things, and you think that we know everything, the creative people, we've got our processes down, whatever else. One of the things I talked to Jason about is he had this weird system. Maybe it worked for him. It didn't work for us in our system because we got a deadline. You do a monthly book. Let me just tell anybody in this room. You do a monthly book. If you just remember this one thing, you'll be able to do a monthly book. It's not fun all the time. Keep that in mind, and it will make sense. Because if you think it's a joy to do a monthly book, there are times where it's a grind because you've got deadlines or whatever. And you have this weird system, I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, where you go, okay, here's 20 pages. We're 2 days before the book has to go to the printers, and we've seen 0 pages. And I go, we're going to press in 2 days. And he's like, yeah, I'm working on all 20 at one time, right? And it was true because he would show me pictures. I didn't believe him. I thought it was a fake, and he sent me pictures, and he's working on 20 pages at once. I'm overstating it, but it was that way. I'm going, wow, now that's cool. And he would get all 20 pages done. Good for him, right? I love him, and I applaud him, right? But here's where the dad comes up, right? It wasn't fair to my colorist, who then had to color 20 pages in 2 days. Right? That wasn't the fair part. And I like to be fair, so we just came up, and I took him to the Church of Todd, right? So it was only rhymes with God, but it's the Church of Todd. And I go, just remember this prayer, and he learned it quick, and it actually worked. Watch this. This is how you do a monthly book. A page a day, Monday through Friday, rest on the weekend. A page a day, Monday through Friday, rest on the weekend. A page a day, Monday through Friday, rest on the weekend. There's 4 weeks in a month, that gets you 20 pages. Monday through Friday is 5 days. 5 times 4 is 20. That's a book. You don't have to do the weekend. If you want to do a cover, you can blow one of your Saturdays. You can get it done. But that's how it works. Just a page a day. That's your quota. Do a page, you're done. If it takes you 3 hours, it's a 3-hour day. If it takes 23 hours, it's a 23-hour day. I need a page so I can give that page to my color, my letter, and I can write it. That's it.